Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're all doing okay, and I hope you've already moved on from all the recent news, especially about most pro players switching over to Honor of Kings. But hey, that's their choice, and we all have our own paths to take. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to take you deep into the world of the Goldlane. I'm sure you're going to learn a lot from this, so make sure to watch the video all the way through. By the end, I promise you'll be able to decide for yourself and finally understand why the Goldlane might just be the perfect role for you. By the way, our opponent in the lane today is Karrie. Karrie is actually pretty strong this season. I even used her in the jungle, and she's super effective, especially when paired with a tank. You also need to be careful with this hero because, just like Granger, she received a heavy nerf, but even with that, she still deals a lot of damage in the early game. That's why, as you can see here, it's best to play it safe. Just focus on getting the last hits on creeps and avoid taking unnecessary risks. She tried to contest here, but I managed to pick her off because my first item was Warrior Boots right away. Oh, and by the way, this season the gold from that dinosaur has been reduced, so it's okay if you don't contest it anymore. If you notice, I reached level 4 before Karrie, which means I got my ultimate earlier, and I was able to take her down because of it. Level advantage really plays a huge role in this game. And one more thing, you've probably noticed that I haven't been using Granger as a core anymore. Because of the nerf they gave him, it's really hard to make Granger work as a core now. Sorry about that, guys. Granger may have been nerfed, but he can still go toe-to-toe with today's top marksman in the gold lane. And that's exactly what you're going to see in this game. And since I noticed that Karrie was far from her lane, I decided to push and take some gold. But you also really need to help your team, especially when a clash is happening near your area. I was actually on my way back to my lane, but then Kaja showed up. It seemed like he didn't have his ultimate ready, so I just went ahead and took him down, since I was already ahead in levels and had already completed my Hunter Strike. And at this point, I was already up against 2 enemies at the top lane, and they managed to pick me off because Kaya already had his ultimate ready, plus he still had his flicker. But I wouldn't have died if I had just backed off. I tried to fight back instead, and that turned out to be the wrong decision. When I got back to my lane, they wouldn't leave me alone. There were really 2 of them staying at the top. It seemed like our core or roam had no plans of helping me out, but that's okay because I still managed to take both of them down, even though Karrie was able to use her flicker.
Just enjoy your requiem.
There are so many reasons why you should never underestimate Granger's damage, especially when he's ahead of you in levels and items. I was thinking of just taking down the top tower, but I had a bad feeling about it, so I backed off a bit, especially since I could see a few enemies missing on the map. As a gold laner, you really need to learn how to sense danger and trust your instincts. I decided to head straight to mid to help out our mage, because you're not supposed to stay in the gold lane the entire match. But I was honestly surprised by Granger's damage here, or maybe it's because I already had my items. What do you think? And since I already rotated to mid, I decided to try and push the top lane again, but then... And during the Lord fight, our core managed to pick off their core, so we had the advantage. I tried to zone out the enemies and even sacrifice myself, but then our core followed me in and we both got picked off. At that point, I honestly didn't know what my teammates were doing anymore. I was heading back to the top lane to push properly, and I decided to check the scoreboard. That's when I realized I was carrying the team again, but it's all good. That's just part of being a gold laner. If you're not ready to take on that kind of responsibility, then maybe the gold lane isn't for you. Good thing our mage finally had some damage at this point. From what I remember, I don't think they ever rotated to help in the gold lane, but it's alright. No hard feelings. It happens. I went ahead and took the red buff without asking the core. Since it was already late game, I figured it was fine. Then I headed straight to mid to try and pick off their mage. I was caught off guard when Karrie suddenly appeared, but good thing I had my flicker ready, and luckily he didn't have any teammates with him, so I managed to survive. I couldn't land my skill properly because I was checking the map while attacking. I couldn't see where their core was, so I had to keep looking. At this point, I was already almost full item. My last item was supposed to be Blade of Despair. The proper build for Granger now should really be full damage. Honestly, I shouldn't have gone for Meteor. I should have just gone for 2 Blade of Despairs instead, but I was thinking their mage was dealing a lot of damage too, so I tried to adjust.
Initiate retreat.
Good thing we were able to zone out the enemies, so we secured the Lord, but our top lane was looking a bit risky because of that 2v1 situation earlier. I went ahead and took the red buff again, since our core didn't really seem to care anyway. And because the enemy team overextended here, we finally got the chance to pick them off, especially that Kaja I've been annoyed with the whole game. This is one mistake that a lot of players make. When you're having a hard time pushing a lane, especially the third tower, don't keep clearing the minions. Doing that only gives the enemy a chance to farm. Just let the minions push on their own so the enemies are forced to come out. That's when you catch them off guard and pick them off. At this point, I really wanted to end the game, but we kept running out of minions. What really stood out to me in this match was that not even once did either of our cores rotate to the gold lane. I'll say it again, gold lane is important because that's the lane that will carry your team in the late game. So yes, it needs attention and support. It seems like just now, their jungler finally realized that I should be the first target since I'm the one dealing the most damage. We also managed to pick off Julian here. By the way guys, Julian isn't their core in this match, it's actually Lucas. And right after that, we went straight for the Lord. And we followed the Lord's push to finish the game. The thing is, just like I said earlier, the gold lane is perfect for you if you're someone who can handle responsibility, especially when it comes to carrying the team. But if you feel like it's really not for you, don't force it. There are other lanes that might suit you better. For me, the gold lane just feels right. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.